What's going on, everybody out there? It's your boy Mood616 here, and yes, I'm back with my Horrorcon 2024 haul. Basically, Calgary Horrorcon 2024, which was another really fun time as usual. Unfortunately, there was a couple guests that actually canceled that I wanted to meet and stuff like that. Most notably being Charles Band. So that was kind of shitty. Here's like the little card of who was actually there. You guys can pause and read it. So I essentially was there to meet Robert Brian Wilson, Mark Togel, and stuff like that. So pretty cool stuff, though. It was a lot of people from like the new Evil Dead movie and Evil Dead vs. Ash and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I brought in a lot of new fans and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so 2-day event went pretty cool. Yeah, might as well just get right into it. Here, I got my VIP pass stand right here. Just show that right there. It's basically, there's a party on Friday night. It introduces all the guests and stuff like that, and you get to party with them and stuff. It's pretty cool. It's fun to do. I didn't get it or actually part of the convention, but my buddy Greg from the Calgary Film Society. So what they do is they basically show like 35 millimeter prints of films a couple times a year and stuff like that, and they usually get like some promo stuff to give away to the guests and stuff. And he kept one of the promos for me this year, and it's actually a condom of Hollywood chainsaw hookers. Like, how fucking awesome is that? That's a cool little thing that they had made up. So yeah, that's pretty fucking rad. So big ups to Greg for keeping one of these promo things for that. Pretty damn cool. Pretty cool. Here's a stick. Here's a random sticker here. Zombie Jesus. Pretty cool. Grab that off a table. Yeah, I did grab a bunch of pins and stuff. They're actually on my hoodie. So what I think I'll do is I'll just insert some footage right now of the pins and stuff that I grabbed. A lot of them were like TerrorVision pins and stuff like that I got for like super cheap and shit like that. So yeah, just check out the footage right there. All right, so some of the ones I got here was the Critters pin there. I also got that Belial one. That little Things. That's pretty fucking cool. These were actually TerrorVision ones. I got a little pin of Bub there. I also got some Crypt Keeper. What else did I get? Oh yeah, the Zombie Jesus, which is really cool. It's part of like this comic book line. The Neon Maniacs and the Shreddy Cougar. I think those were also TerrorVision ones. And last, but we got some Return of the Living Dead there. Yeah, so that's it for like the pins and shit that I grabbed. All right, so I'll start off with the autographs. First up, I'll start out with my boy Mark, who I met this guy at Horrorcon about 3 years ago. We became really good friends. We've hung out ever since, every year. And he actually works in the film industry in Vancouver. He's a producer / director / actor. And of course, he was working on this movie, It's a Wonderful Knife, not life. And he actually is just in the movie to die. He's just in the movie to die. He's actually got a really cool death scene in the film. So I got him to sign my copy of it and stuff. And I'll insert a picture right here of me and Mark while I'm talking or whatever. Very, very cool guy. And he said he's actually got a part for me in one of his movies that he's going to be producing or directing. I can't remember which one it is, but he's like, yo, man, I got a part for you. And I'm like, okay, sweet. I'll do that. I'll fly down to Vancouver for that. So I've never had a part in a movie before, so that'd be pretty damn cool to have. So, but yeah, it's a wonderful knife. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I liked it a lot more than I was anticipating to. Justin Long's character was so fucking hilarious in this. His accent, his delivery. He was actually only on set, I guess, for a couple days, so they shot all of his scenes within like a very compressed time frame. Really funny, actually, because he's throughout the whole film, but they shot all the stuff together. But yeah, actually really fun. It's got its problems, but it's pretty fun. Next up here, I had to get this signed. I chose this edition. I have so many editions of Toxic Avenger. It's just one I don't watch anymore. I've got the 4K set now. But Mark Torgel, of course, who played the regular guy in the Toxic Avenger, the skinny nerd. It kind of sucks, though, because I actually have a Toxic Avenger poster signed by Lloyd Kaufman. And I thought I had a poster tube because I flew this year. And I didn't have the right size because it's like one of the big posters. So I ended up just getting this signed. But I really wanted to get him to sign the poster too, which is kind of a shame that I never got to make that happen. But I'll insert a picture again with him. Very, very cool guy. So, and I thought about it after. I never never showed him that meme that my boy Neil made of the toxic offender of my head on the Toxie's body. I should have shown him that. That would have actually been pretty funny. But he was a very cool guy. Very nice and polite too. So, and last up here, of course, we met Robert Brian Wilson. I've got the Scream Factory edition signed here. And he was very awesome to meet. I could have talked to this guy forever. In fact, I actually did talk to him for a while until a guest came up, and then I decided to leave, which was a very awkward moment because I'll tell that story in a minute too. But so I was talking to Brian, or to Robert, and I asked him when like the last time he'd actually seen this movie was, and he said, actually, interesting story about that. He said the last like few years he's been, because he lives in California now, and he's been going to Quentin Tarantino's theater a couple times during December, and they do a couple screenings of it, and he does like a Q&A for the people that come out and watch it and stuff like that. So he's been hanging out with Tarantino for like the last few years, but he hadn't seen it years before that, and Tarantino wanted to start doing these showings at Christmas time and stuff, which made sense. So that's pretty cool. So he's talking about Quentin Tarantino. We got on the subject of Tarantino and just him having every fucking 35 millimeter print in the world, and he's just so knowledgeable about every little thing. He's just, you know, one of those guys. But very cool that he hangs out with them every December for a couple showings and stuff. But so anyways, I noticed a guest that was waiting to meet Robert, and the guy comes up to me and he's like, Moods. He's like, oh, I'm a big fan. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. Here I am geeking out over freaking Killer Santa Claus here, and then this guy's geeking out over me. It was such a really awkward moment. I didn't actually know who the guy was, but he obviously knows me from either the channel or the podcast. I don't know. But shout out to you if you're watching this right now. And yeah, sorry if I didn't recognize you if I met you in the past. But anyways, but yeah, very, very cool guy. I was super happy to meet him. He just seems so genuinely, you know, he was excited to be there and stuff. It was pretty cool. And I like that when the guests show their excitement to actually be there and stuff like that. You get those guests every once in a while where they're just like, next, sign picture. So yeah, so that's kind of a downer when shit's like that, but yeah, it is what it is. You know what? I'll show a couple pieces of music that I got here. I grabbed this from, it's a TerrorVision release. I got it for a discount because the case was actually cracked and stuff, but I grabbed the Video Violence cassette for $10, and I was like, you know, why not, right? I'm a huge Video Violence fan, as everyone knows. I collect Video Violence stuff, so I was like, you know what, I gotta have the tape. I should grab the vinyl of this, but for $10, you know, like I said, the case is a little bit cracked. Not a big deal. I can change the case out, but yeah, Video Violence on cassette. Found one of the records I was looking for, and I grabbed the Beyond on vinyl. Had to grab the Beyond. It's one of the ones I was missing, which, you know, guys, you know, yeah, I basically only collect Italian soundtracks. I got the odd American one, which I'll actually show one next. But yeah, so the reason why this year I didn't grab a whole lot of collectibles, in fact, I didn't grab any collectibles because I was flying and they're really bulky, and I didn't feel like carrying on that much stuff because I never check my bags. So, but anyways, then of course we grabbed the Day of the Dead vinyl from Waxworks. So I was out to grab this one also, so it was pretty cool. I'm still looking for City of the Living Dead, and then I have so many that I love, but these are always great soundtracks to throw on, so that artwork's awesome, man. Really cool stuff. So very happy to have those two. Could have grabbed more, actually. Right at the end of the con, Greg came up to me and he actually said, he's like, yo, man, he's like, that place you got the vinyl? He's like, they're selling them half price. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was completely out of cash. And the cash machine, the bank machines that are at Horrorcon run out every year on Saturdays. So if you don't have cash on Sundays, you got to be going to find one. And all the cash machines around the area are always out of cash because people, you know, take it all out of the gas station. It's like towards the airport, it's on the outskirts of town, so there's not so many. So like, if you're there, bring lots of extra cash, or just maybe, yeah, because every year it runs out. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, let's get into the media that I picked up here. From Second Sight, I grabbed Extro. I love this movie. I know they release this like in a 4-disc monster edition, whatever. Never grabbed it, but yeah, I decided to grab Extro. Love this movie. I think it's fantastic. Yeah, I found this one for $5, and I'm glad I waited on this because the prices on this everywhere is like super expensive, and it was a used copy for $5. So obviously somebody didn't really care for it. But that's Grizzly 2, The Revenge. I know this movie was filmed or finished like 30 years later kind of thing with a young Charlie Sheen, George Clooney, Laura Dern's in it. I still have yet to see it. Actually, we were going to do this when we did our Zoology Bears episode, but we ended up doing something else. I think that shitty TV movie, maybe we should have done this one. I don't know, since we did Grizzly. But anyways, I digress. Grizzly 2, The Revenge. Heard it's terrible, but I had to have it for $5. I'm not going to pass it up for $5. It's ridiculous. Speaking of $5 movies, I was surprised to see this at a table, and they had a whole stack. So they obviously maybe got a bunch of they're actually not promo copies, but I don't know why he had so many of them, but he was selling them all for $5 from Scream Team releasing, which one I didn't actually have, which is the Cyborgs. I know about this movie. I haven't seen it, but for $5 for a Scream Team releasing brand new disc, I'm like, shit, got to pick it up. Oh, yeah, and also, I did grab one shirt. I was having problems finding shirts this time. Every shirt that I wanted, they didn't have my size. They were either too small or too large. Like, it was ridiculous. But yeah, this Frankenhooker shirt, I think this is pretty cool, actually. It's got the wanted date. It's got Belial in there. So I got two things with Belial, actually, in this update. So anyways, stop by my man, Rough Cut Videos spot. He's got a big boutique label, basically video store. In Calgary, and he's like the leader of, he basically sells all the boutique labels like in the world. It's fucking awesome. So everything at his stand is all boutique labels. It's all he brings in. He's like the number one carrier for everybody. It's pretty awesome. But anyways, so of course he gets in Burroughs, but I finally decided to grab Kids because I love this movie and I just didn't have the Blu-ray. So this is a cool upgrade. It looks fantastic. I did watch this actually late on Saturday night, and it looks fantastic. And it's still depressing and disturbing and awesome all at the same time. I love this movie. It's great. I need to watch the documentary that's on here. It's got we were once kids, so that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool feature on there. But you know, if you grew up as an 80s and 90s kid, you definitely know Kids. It's fantastic stuff. So I grabbed this one. This was also used. This is a $5 Scorpion release, and I'm like, fuck. Every time I come across these for $5, I gotta grab them. I've actually seen this movie before, and I knew about that Scorpion released it, but I wanted to grab it just because it's like one of those sexy thriller kind of films with Sybil Danning in it, and that's Talking Walls. But Scorpion for $5 that I don't have because I love me some Scorpion releasing. So, but gotta have that. I've grabbed this one from Severn. I was on the fence about this because I wasn't even 100% sure what this was, and that's Closed Circuit. I was going to pre-order this one, and I was like, I don't really know. All I knew it was like Italian. It was like an Italian like crime film or something like that. But then I find out that this is actually, it was a made-for-TV film that did like so well and had such a great response to it that they actually ended up releasing this theatrically in Italy, and it did really well. So I've never really heard of too many movies that were made for TV that went theatrical after. That's a pretty unique story. So anyways, Severin put this one out. I believe it's the first time it's ever been released, kind of thing. It says now scanned from the RATV Vault Film Elements. I'm sure it's probably the first time, but I heard nothing but good things. He recommended this to me. He's like, you got to check it out. So I'm like, yeah, I got to check that out. So picked up Space Camp. This is a fun ass fucking movie right here with Leah Thompson, Kelly Preston's in it, Lee Phoenix, Kate Capshaw, from 1986. Real fun, like sci-fi shit. It's cool. I like it. It's fun. From Kino. Also from Kino, one of the newer releases, Back from the Dead. I was gonna grab those sets that just came out too, but they're pretty expensive. But yeah, I'll get them right down the road and stuff. There's a sci-fi one and a horror one and stuff, but this one really had my attention. From 1957. Called Back from the Dead with Peggy Castle. Pretty cool, from Kino. So you can't go wrong with that shit right there. Pretty cool. And then I was actually, so I had like a really short list of movies that I was legitimately looking for. And I actually found one of it. And I was surprised that I found this because it's kind of random. And I was just shocked to find it at one of the tables. But actually the dude that sold this to me, man, I bought quite a few things off him over the years and stuff. And I actually got a story about him in a minute too, but I was looking for Hard Rock Nightmare from Dark Forest. Holy fuck, I forgot who released this. From Dark Forest Entertainment. I think it's actually on Shudder too. But yeah, I was looking for a copy of this. I didn't order. I hate ordering from Dark Forest because I never know if they're going to ship my shit and the shipping sucks. I don't know. It's just, it's funny. I've ordered from them lots of times, never had really issues, but it's just one of those companies that always kind of makes me think. I don't know. But yeah, happy to have Hard Rock Nightmare. So anyways, I was talking to the guy about, you know, movies and stuff like that, and I'd mentioned that I was heading to Cinema Wasteland this October, and he's like, oh shit. He's like, dude, I've always heard about Cinema Wasteland. I've always wanted to go and stuff. And he's like, you're the first person I've ever talked to that's actually been there. He's like, man, people actually go there from over here. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, so we got on the subject of Cinema Wasteland and stuff. I'm pretty cool guy. And I was like, I had him, like, he was just like, I gotta go. And I'm like, dude, you gotta go. It's so much fun. So, but yeah, it was pretty interesting because you just don't hear a lot of people out in the West here that even know about Cinema Wasteland. Like, even a lot of people at the conventions, like, they just, I mentioned Cinema Wasteland, I'm like, no, I only know about, like, Texas Frightmare. I'm like, okay. But anyways, I also grabbed these off them, too. Came in some nice little hard shells and stuff. Of course, that is Men Behind the Sun Part 2, Laboratory of the Devil. Yeah, so Part 2, you're probably wondering why I'm not showing Part 1, because that'll be in my actual DVD and Blu-ray update. That'll be up in a couple days. I'm going to record that probably right after this one. So I'll put this one out first, and then I'll get out the DVD and Blu-ray haul, which is going to be probably 2.5 hours long. It's stupid fucking huge because I'm an idiot. So anyways, there's number 2. And here's number 3, A Narrow Escape. I love the artworks that Massacre Video did on these releases. They're pretty damn fucking cool, man. So... But yeah, again, I was shocked to pick up all 3 of these from the guy's table. He doesn't really have a name for his table or nothing, but those are some cool finds. Those are some very cool finds at that table. So, so this one I grabbed from the same place where I find all the Scorpions and the Scream Team release and like used and stuff. They had a copy of this used. I had no idea what this was, so I actually asked the guy what the fuck this was because I knew TerrorVision released this, but I just never looked into what it was. And that's Love and Saucers. He actually gave me this for $10. And apparently it's a documentary about a guy that, like, fell in love with an alien or something like that, who claims... Yeah, the strange story of David Huggins, a 70-year-old Hoboken man who claims to have had a lifetime of encounters with otherworldly beings, including an interspecies romance with an extraterrestrial woman with whom he may lost his virginity to, and chronicled it in a surreal impressionist painting, few of which I've ever seen. Like... What in the fuck is that? Like, you know, you think you heard it all until you haven't. You know, it's fucking bizarre. Anyways, that's TerrorVision. So actually, all the next TerrorVision titles I grabbed from Rough Cut Video, and I was actually there to get all these. He actually had a couple more, even wanted to, but I'm like, man, I'm spending so much fucking money. But, so all these I actually was hell-bent on grabbing. And of course, that's Shrek right there. Been after this one since they announced it from 1990. Pretty cool stuff. TerrorVision is such an interesting label. They release stuff all over the place from different decades, different genres, like just all over the place. In like, you know, you got foreign films, you got modern stuff. Like it's just all over the fucking place. Then we grabbed Killer, which is another one I was just shocked that they'd released, man. This is also from 1990. So yeah, I mean, I haven't had a chance really to watch any of these, so looking forward to checking this one. I've heard this one's pretty cool. I've heard this one's pretty interesting. So another one from TerrorVision. The Jar, which I've heard is so weird. And this is from 1984. I can't think if I've ever... I want to say I have, but I might be getting this mixed up with something else. Yeah, it's talking about like how it was always on the worst VHS transfers and shit like that. So I don't know, but also known as it's like The Jar, also known as Sharon. So yeah, had to grab this. I never grabbed the DVD of this, and I always wanted to grab a copy of this because I really like this movie. And was it 1993? Holy shit! I didn't think it was that old. I thought it was later 90s. But anyways. And that is America's Deadliest Home Video. Pretty fucking cool film. I think... Who put this out? Can't Motion Pictures? Somewhere on there? I don't know. But, yeah, happy to have that one too. Pretty cool. Yeah, after this for a long time, man, we got fucking slashers. This is a fucking fun-ass movie from 2001. Crazy, crazy fun. If you've never seen this one, give it a shot. I know this one has like a mixed bag. Sometimes when people watch this film, they're like, what the fuck is this? But Japan's #1 reality show is coming to America. Yeah, so it kind of gives you an idea what it is. Oh, and this was the main release that I was there for. I actually got him to hold a copy because I wasn't sure if it was going to sell before I saw him, but yeah, he held it for me. So, but that's Hollowgate. I was so happy to finally get a copy of Hollowgate, man. I haven't seen this since like the 90s. So 1988 film. I remember renting this one, and yeah, it's fun shit. Obviously a Halloween horror film, pretty cool. But so happy that TerrorVision put out that one. That's pretty awesome. From Fun City Editions, which this is one of the releases they released after they left the Vinegar Syndrome site as a partner label. And it was kind of funny because I thought this was actually like a re-release of it, because the first one comes in like a thick box set with their own cases and stuff like that. But no, I guess when they put this volume 2 out, it's actually a it's like a standard kind of thin division or version of it. So Primetime Panic Volume 2, which is like 3 TV films. I really enjoyed the first box set, so had to grab these. But I, as you guys know, I'm a really big fan of TV films. I don't know, it's very, very nostalgic to me. Like, I grew up watching TV films all the time and shit. And a lot of these ones I haven't seen before, so it's just always cool to visit these type of thrillers and these type of films that were, you know, on in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, these ones are from 77, 81, 77 to 84, so yeah. All right, so this was a cool release. I wasn't sure if I'm sure that he was going to have it. I was expecting just to get the standard edition because I didn't really care, and the standard would have been a lot cheaper, but this is the version that he had, and I was surprised that he actually still had them because I think they're out of print now, I'm not sure. And of course, that's the second sight edition of 4K version of May. Yeah, as you guys know, I'm a massive fan of this movie. It's a perfect 10 out of 10 for me. It's just so fucking good. Angela Bettis in this film is like one of my all-time favorite performances in horror in general. Like, she's so damn believable as this character, and she's just treated so shitty, and like you feel so bad for her, but at the same time she's doing like bad shit. It's just like one of those very emotional roller coaster films, but it's awesome. And like, this movie got crazy edition. Like, look at this shit, man. It's big 4K booklet and stuff. I still haven't opened it, but. And then this one I was expecting to actually grab a standard of too, but he's like, no, I got like the big fat pack of it. And I was like, oh shit, crazy. And that, of course, is the release of Inside, which again I believe is a 4K. I think it is. I think these are 4Ks. So no, actually, this is just Blu-ray. Maybe this is just Blu-ray too. Yeah, I think this is just Blu-rays. It doesn't really matter to me, anyways. But yeah, Inside, of course, one of the famous Fab Five. French extreme horror films from like the mid 2000s. This is like one of the most brutal films. It's so damn bloody and so violent and just so vile at the same time, but it's so fucking awesome and scary. It's just a great film, man. If you've never seen Inside, watch the original. Do not watch the remake. No, I'm not going to say don't. I hate when people tell people not to watch films. That's fine, but make sure if you're going to watch the remake, watch the original first, because then you'll see why you shouldn't really do remakes of these type of movies. Hence Martyrs too. They dumbed that shit down to the point where it was ugh. Anyways, but yeah, Inside, awesome fucking release here. Yeah, crazy. And grabbed one box set here. I grabbed the Cushing Curiosities, the Severn box set here. You know me, I'm a box set horror. No, box set horror. I love me some box sets. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. I love me Peter Cushing. So what's in here is we got some Tender Dracula, which I have actually never seen before. Bloodsuckers, which I believe has an alternate title, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure. A lot of these movies really do. This one might, but Bloodsuckers. We got Sherlock Holmes, which I've seen multiple times before with Nigel Stock as Dr. Watson. Yeah. So I grew up watching a lot of the reruns of Sherlock Holmes. I honestly can't really remember it too well, but I remember it being really fun and really good. Peter Cushing was always good as Sherlock Holmes. So. The Man Who Finally Died. This is one I don't know. I'm assuming this is like a thriller. Oh shit, there's actually... Oh, it's Suspect in the... So there's actually 2 different films on here. Suspect and The Man Who Finally Died. 1960, 1962. Cool. So that one's a double feature. And then Gone of Silence. Is that Gone? Yeah. Crazy. And this one is from 1960 also. Kona Silence. I think that's not a G. That's Kona Silence. Again, never seen it. So this is actually really cool because I've seen a ton of Peter Cushing films in my life. And I haven't really seen any of those. Not the movies. TV series, yes. And we got the booklet here, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's... You can't call this a booklet. This is a fucking book. And it's just beautiful, man. Like, Severin does such a good job with their box sets. Unreal. Unreal. I mean, Severin's always burning me, man. Making my pockets empty because they put out too many expensive things. It's crazy. So that's the Cushing Curiosity set. And, yeah, anticlimactic, but this was just what was on the bottom. But I picked up a copy of Season 1 of The Amazing Stories. I don't think Season 2 is ever released in Region 1. I know Australia released... I think they released a box set with both seasons of Amazing Stories, which I can't believe this show was only on for 2 seasons. It's crazy. Another show I used to watch quite a bit when it was on TV and stuff. A lot of episodes are vaguely in my mind. I bet you when I start watching these, I'll start to remember them. But yeah, there's like 24 episodes on here. Of course, there's just tons of great people on here. Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen again, Tim Robbins, John Lithgow, Kevin Costner. I mean, big fucking names, you know, produced by Steven Spielberg. So, but pretty cool. I just came across this. It was cheap, like $5, and I was like, fuck it, I don't have it. And the funny thing is, I actually had this in my Amazon cart. I don't know how. It's so random. I've never seen it at Horrorcon before, so that was kind of cool. Fine, but anyways, that's going to do it for the haul. Not the hugest thing in the world, but a lot of money spent, as you can just imagine, because a lot of the majority of the stuff's all brand new, sealed. Couple of autographs, which weren't overly too bad. Vinyl's expensive, but anyways, I will be back with my DVD and Blu-ray update very, very soon here. So I'm going to get this uploaded and then expect that update within a couple days. So I'll probably upload it and just schedule it for Monday or something. I don't know. Try to get that out of there too. And like I said, it's going to be massive. So for all the people that have been asking about it, it's coming. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys were at Horrorcon, leave comments down below. And again, if I talk to you, and if I didn't see you or whatever, maybe I'll see you next year there. And as usual, guys, deuces.